Hey guys, today I'm going to review the Hiby app for Android. I'm going to get to the bad stuff and the good stuff and whether it's worth it for you. So the issues. The first issue is album art. It doesn't display it properly. It doesn't read the embedded art, and therefore it doesn't read it all the time. So it really depends on whether it wants to take it or not. For example, if I go to an artist, go to New Order, and I go to the album view, you'll see there's missing album art. Yes, I did look into putting cover JPEG and folder JPEG in the same folder as the album, refreshing, clearing the cache, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Another thing too is when you go to an artist, it gives you a list of all the songs. Well, that's freaking annoying. I would much rather have album view right off the bat. Or if you want, give me an option in the settings where I can have either album view or list or right off the bat. That is freaking annoying. Another issue that you're gonna get is if you go to an album, what you're gonna get is the first song doesn't even show the album art until you go to the second track. See right here? So if I go to the first one, it's missing. It happens a lot with this app. It's a bug. They should freaking fix it. It's been so long. Another issue is Tracklist Order. So for example, I have this, I just downloaded this album. All of these are mixed up. And I made sure that it was correct in, MP3 tag. Make sure that but this one here is actually the last song in the album. So you're gonna get issues where some of these are mixed up, which really, really sucks. The main feature for this app is the MSEB. This controls the levels of the bass, the brightness, the air. This is the reason why I use it. This is an amazing feature, but it has its problems. The main problem is if you're listening to an MP3, because in my library I have DSD, I have FLAC, I have MP3. So what will happen is I'll listen to an MP3, an album consisting of MP3, and the MSEB will be working. The levels will work the way I want it. Then what will happen is I'll go to another album that has FLAC. Sometimes it keeps the settings, but other times I would just kind of think to myself, this doesn't sound right. This doesn't sound right. And then what I'll do is I'll go back into the MSEB, and then boom, the settings will come back on again. So it doesn't stick. It does not stick, which really sucks. So a lot of times if I jump from album to album, I'll have to go back into the MSEB and activate this again, which is really freaking annoying. Honestly, I have to have a lot of patience before using this app. So a lot of times I'll go from album to album, listen to a specific song. Another issue is sometimes if you're listening to music kind of loud and you go into the MSEB, you'll hear a loud pop. So I've gotten into the habit of taking off my headphones before I go in here, because I've actually hurt my ears going into this. Something with the amp is just creating some kind of a pop, an audible pop. Another issue, it's not a real issue, but it is an annoying issue, is a lot of times if you're swiping, you'll accidentally go back a level forward, and sometimes it happens a lot. So I kind of have to be really careful and make sure that I'm actually swiping straight up and down, because a lot of times if I'm like in bed or I'll get that issue, and it's just, I wish there was a way to lock that so I'm not always having to, it's not having to go to the settings right away. So that's pretty annoying. It doesn't have a recently added, which sucks because I'm always adding new music. So then when I go back to the app, I don't know, I can't find where I see a recently played tracks, but I don't see anything where it shows recently added albums. That would be pretty helpful. Other issues include that's related to album art is sometimes, like I have the setting where it says the obtain cover art and lyrics automatically. I have that set to off, but sometimes I get album art that is coming from some other place, some other dimension, where I'm just getting weird album art that I don't even have in my library, and that's with that setting off. So I don't know, I really don't know what's going on there. So you're probably thinking, wow, there's a lot about this that you don't like. It's true. There's a lot about this, a lot of things about this app that I don't like. So why use it? Well, the reason why I'm using it is for this feature. This is the secret sauce to good sounding music when it works. The developers need to fix having this setting set at all times without turning off. Like I said, as of now, I have to go back and turn it on. If it sounds like flat, I'm like, oh, well, it just turned off again. So I have to go in here and activate it. It activates like automatically. You have to go to this section. It's the best sounding player, but you know, this whole album art thing is just really annoying. And here's something here, like, oh, well, maybe it's the way you have your file set up. Really? Well, if that's the case, then remember I went to New Order and I had all that missing art. Well, check that out. Black Player. It shows all the album art in its glory. This one's kind of light, but there is album art there. It's not white. It has all the album art, and it has, you know, the cool feature where it has the albums on top, and then it has the list on the bottom if you want to go for a specific. So they have this pretty much locked down. This is pretty much how it should look, or just have like a grid of all the albums on here would work too. They also have this thing that's pretty cool. It just shows an image of the band. So it's not the way I have it set up, because other apps, I think Power Amp shows all the album art too. So it's just the Hiby app. Should you use it? Well, here's the thing with me. This is a DAP. This has a built-in amplifier. So for me, having to use this is worth it. It's annoying, but if I want to listen to good music, good sounding music, it's kind of the only way I can enjoy it. Black Player, you know, if you're probably saying, well, then use Black Player if it doesn't have all those gripes. The problem with Black Player is that it sounds like crap. It doesn't sound good. Like, it would sound good if you had an iPhone and you're not worried about, you know, high fidelity. Then the Black Player, function wise, kicks this app's ass. But if you are looking for an app for your DAP, then this is really, the MSEB is the only reason. So yeah, I'm a little frustrated with this app. I think the developers, you know, the thing that sucks the most is that I'm on their Facebook user group, and on their description it says there will always be a tech here to answer your questions. And it is completely littered with people. Well, not completely. Okay, now I'm exaggerating. But there are a couple people on there that have been expressing the same issues, or primarily the album art that I'm explaining to you now, and there has gotten zero response. absolutely zero response. And then you go onto their forum, the HeadFi. I think the developer said that they hope there'll be an update. Hope? No, the correct answer is we will have an update. So, but they haven't said that. If you have an iPhone, a regular Android phone that does not have an amp inside, I can't recommend the Hiby app. If they ever update their app, I will go ahead and update this video, or probably just delete the video, because then it won't be relevant anymore. But I cannot recommend this app if you don't have an amp on your player. I would just use Black Player or Power Amp, since everything is superior to this. But if you do have an amped device, then it does. The MSEB really is a genius feature when it's working. It sounds fantastic. Other than that, I said other than that. I said a lot of things, but I'm really hoping that developers actually fix it. I got it when I first had this app or installed it. It did crash a few times, but it doesn't crash anymore. I think maybe it was indexing, but you know, I don't have a problem with it crashing anymore. So see, I'm not hating on it completely. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, the DSD. I just keep piling it on. So when I first got this player, I installed the app, or actually the app was already installed. I loaded up a DSD file, and I went up to the equalizer and the MSEB where you can change the sound, and nothing was happening. I thought, oh crap, I have a faulty device. Was that I had to change the settings in order to change the dynamics of the DSD file. And I had to go to DSD mode, and I had to change it to PCM. The problem with that is that when I changed it to PCM, the sound was garbage. So I just couldn't win. Give me a freaking break. So I don't really listen to DSD on this thing. And here's the thing. Here's why. DSD gives you a very flat response. It gives you, I guess they call it reference, where there's no real bass. Everything's pretty flatlined. I don't like music like that. I like to play with the EQ. I want to hear, I listen to Massive Attack. I listen to Metallica, like the old school stuff. I listen to a lot of the new electronic music. Listen to some Dre, some NWA. So I do listen to some rap. And I do have I had a DSD file of Dre's The Chronic, and it just sounded really flat. So I had to switch over to PCM. That made it sound really, really bad. So what I did do is go to MSEB, and I had to create a profile. Let me see here. So I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can tell. I created a DSD profile. So anytime I would listen to DSD, I can click this, and it sounds a little better. But I had to play with the levels a lot. So if you're going from MP3 to FLAC DSD, it's not going to sound the same. I mean, it sounds completely different. So that's kind of a bummer. Bottom line is, the developer of the Hiby app, they need to get their act together, because it looks like they're just really busy on creating the I guess right now they have the R3, the small version of the R6, and I guess their main focus is hardware, and they've kind of forgotten about the app. And the thing about that is that the hardware and the software it's a package deal. They work together, synergy, right? So if the hardware is cool, but the software is buggy as shit, then it kind of ruins the experience. But I would actually recommend the Power Amp or Black Player as something better if you're just using a regular phone. So that's it, guys. That's my review. I really hope the developers do something and fix the issues I've explained. Hopefully this will, this gives them a guide to what to fix. You know, instead of them feeling butthurt, maybe they should just fix it. I actually run a software company, and on our forums, we occasionally get people that have bugs. And instead of me being pissed off about what they're posting, we just fix it. That's just the right thing to do. So I hope they fix it. And if they do, this would be by, you know, by far the best app with a high-res player. So, I mean, it kind of is by just this feature. But anyway, I really hope they fix it. All right, guys. Thanks.